Okay, before we carry on, let's look this up very quickly, because I don't want to start another playthrough to only discover that that's it. And okay, cool. So this looks like it's just a continuation of the actual game. So I can't quit, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, that is the game then, by the looks of things. So I did have a little thing to talk about it. So my thoughts on the game. Very fine. I did have some notes based on something that Mr. JRPG has. If I can actually find the damn thing, there we are. So, thank you, Mr. JRPG, if you ever happen to see this. So, story. Basically, there's going to be a few points to go through my thoughts, and I'll score them 1 to 10, and then I'll call it quits for there. So, my thoughts on the game so far. The story, very convoluted. But overall, I quite liked it. I like that it draws from the previous series of the games. Even touched on Drakengard for a little bit, so that's nice. Seeing the story from different perspectives, also very nice. It was nice to see 9S's perspective and 2B's, and then move on to A2. And their different personalities sort of work with each other. It'd be nice to see. I don't know if there was anything there to prevent 2B from dying, or maybe there's a way for 2B to come back. I don't know. I'll have to look that up later. But for my playthrough of the game, did not happen. But yeah, there's a lot of philosophical things behind it. But overall, story fairly good. It was nice that it was revealed over a slow, well-paced sort of timing. So 2B gave you the general outlook. 9S gave you a bit more information behind the background, and then A2 just wrapped it all up, which is quite nice. There's some tedious parts in it near the end, bouncing between A2 and 9S over and over again. But I suppose after playing all that, it sort of led to a nice, concise finish. I am interested to see what happens if you pick 9S as the person to control instead of A2. But overall, good story. I'd give it a probably 8 out of 10. Losing those 2 points because the director's a crazy man. And basically, there's small tedious bits behind it. I don't feel, although it worked, I don't feel like having the very first half of the game retold from 2's perspective was required. It felt a bit samey when the positions overlapped. And I just felt like by the end of 9S's story arc, I just felt like I just wanted to get that chapter done. But afterwards, it was fine. Music is fantastic. There's no two ways about it. The composition and everything like that is amazing. Every part of the story felt right. Every part of the music felt right at certain parts of the story. Favorite part would be when the bunker has been destroyed. Music worked perfectly for them escaping and coming down for an epic landing. So it was great. So I'd give music 10 out of 10. Graphics, for the day, back in the day, it was good, I suppose. It's serviceable now. Still very good for the most part. So yeah, I suppose I'd give it a 8 or 9 out of 10. Graphically, not really too much to comment on it. It just works. But given the age, it's probably aged a little bit for today's standards. That's the only reason I'm dropping it down a little bit. Let me actually write down these points. So I gave story 8 out of 10. Music 10 out of 10. And graphics, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 just because it's aged a bit, but back in the day, I'd imagine it was very good. Gameplay, very good. Liked it a lot. It was very fluid. Dodging felt very natural. The hacking system took a little while to get used to, but I found it more efficient to hack machines near the end. And I sort of missed having missed having 9S when I switched over to A2, because I was getting more efficient at doing those hacks, so damage was consistent, and I just paused time, didn't have to worry about bullets. Side quests, you see, I didn't really do too many of those. They're a bit tedious. The side quests I did do were very fun and revealed a bit more story. Yeah, overall gameplay was solid. Could there be improvements to it? What it is, I don't think so. I suppose, given that thought, give it a personal 10 out of 10 for gameplay. Would gameplay include quests? I suppose it would. So yeah, I didn't do all the quests, so let's give it 9 out of 10 for that, because I wasn't compelled to do all of it. But the actual combat itself was fairly fun, as well as the hacking. Overall enjoyment? Yeah, I liked it. There's not really much to say. The game was very fun. There was a few tedious bits which showed its age and design. So, first part of the story, 2B, fairly basic. Introduced to the game, great. Controls felt fluid, so those are all the pros. The cons, again, I think it comes down to the director again, unfortunately. Some parts of the game felt really tedious, and you can tell it was done on purpose for effect. Can't remember them all. You heard me complain about them at the time, but the one that stands out the most would be when 2B comes back down from the bunker and she has a virus. And for some reason, they thought it was a great idea to force the player to go through a good chunk of the map whilst being disabled from most of the things. You can't even jump, whilst being bullied by machines left, right, and center. That was not fun, and I think it took me 2 or 3 attempts to get that done right. And yeah, did not enjoy that. Pros: story, music, great. Cons: overall, the director has some very funny routes for effect, and I don't think it's aged particularly well. So yeah, that's what we have. So I've got 4 scores. So what is that? 8, 10. Let's see if I actually get this right. So 8, 8, 10, 9. So what is that? Oops, calculator's doing some funny things. So yeah, so according to my scores, I would rate this game 8.75 out of 10. So yeah, loved it. It's good fun. Finally completed it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So, thanks very much for watching. That was my brief review of the game, or my thoughts on it, after playing 30 odd hours. Had fun, enjoyed, and ready to move on to the next game. And happy I managed to complete it before 2024. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time in the next game. Until then, take care, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.